As you can see, the preparation is complete, and I'm ready to start painting with the approaching morning. A final check of the paint guns and an inspection of the car. Then I noticed the formation of condensation. The good part was that I hadn't applied any paint yet. At that moment, it became clear to me that I would have to wait and paint much later under unevenly lit conditions, strong paint reflections, direct sunlight in my eyes, and varying temperatures on the details. Those parts that were on the sunny side had a different temperature than those in the shade. This affects the drying and curing of the paint. No matter where I looked, the situation was getting more complicated, and the chances of success were diminishing. The longer I waited, the more the condensation increased. In fact, I had nothing left to do but to keep my composure, wait, and accept the facts. The waiting was long and nerve-wracking, but there was no turning back. I had worked too long to reach this point to allow myself to rush or postpone the painting. As I mentioned in previous episodes, the chosen day was not random, as I had to take into account too many external factors. If I had decided to postpone the painting at this point, I would have had to wait a week or two, and by then, it would probably have been even hotter. I relied on patience, as every minute passed slowly and painfully. Before long, the sun began to heat up the parts, and the moisture slowly evaporated. I had to wipe down the car. This allowed me to speed up the water evaporation. For those of you who pay attention to the details, you will see how much condensation there was. At the same time, the temperature started to rise, and as the day progressed, it was getting warmer and warmer. It's already middle of the March in Arizona desert, and by lunchtime it may get closer to 90°F or maybe more on shade. I made sure the car was completely dried and blown with compressed air. I waited a bit more to ensure that condensation wouldn't form again, and then I proceeded with degreasing before starting to paint. That's when the race against time began, as I was already a few hours behind. Now, a few words about the paint. It is a restoration shop, speed blue acrylic enamel. Don't forget that the paint comes diluted from the manufacturer and is ready for spraying directly from the container. It was only unclear whether a slow, medium, or fast reducer was used. Considering the temperature requirements on the container, it could be assumed that a medium urethane reducer was used. I carefully poured the slightly warmed paint into a separate container, added the hardener according to the instructions, and then added a splash of Restoration Shop UR70 medium urethane reducer as recommended by the manufacturer when necessary. Based on my experience with the yellow paint, this need was evident. I carefully stirred the paint, and there was nothing left for me to do but focus on the painting. What the result will be and what difficulties I will encounter during the painting process, you will find out in the next episode.